What's up, guys? We are Past the Pop Culture. My name is Ricky with my co-host here, Mrphen.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about kind of like a mix mash of everything, really. It's going to be Street Fighter. It's going to be Flashpoint, right? New trailer just dropped. Call of Duty board game. That Nintendo hacker, right? Yeah. They sell chicken nuggets right there, right? Nintendo's, right? We're talking about Diablo 4 for a little bit. It's just... it's just so much that happened, right? So the first thing I kind of want to get into is the DC trailer because it's just fresh in my mind right now because I watched it beforehand because like it dropped like an hour ago, right? And so I don't know. I mean, the trailer looks fine to me. I don't know if I'm 100% on board with the whole like two flashes kind of thing.
It like weird. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you like because I kind of paused it and the scene where it's like the suit them two and then like I guess the black suit that he had, it looked a little weird.
But they have been kind of like, so is Zod the main villain? Like, is that because where's Reverse Flash in all of this?
Well, so,
you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. It's good that we don't know, but I'm assuming Zod might be the quote unquote main villain, but like even in the trailer he said like no, we can't change the past because he wanted his parents alive. So I think they're gonna kind of just like flip it and then be like, oh no, Reverse Flash is the main. So he's pretty much just gonna
so you think the second Flash is really just Reverse Flash this whole time and it's been a big trick?
Black and then they keep like
I like that would be kind of interesting.
I'm down for that.
All right, yeah. I think overall it's just kind of just like an interesting, like, okay, kind of like they just rehashed some of the footage we've seen. We saw a little bit more of Michael Keaton's Batman though.
A lot more.
I don't have a problem with that personally. I think nobody does, right? Unless it just turns out bad, then it's like, okay, maybe we should have saved him. But I don't know, I was like, okay, I don't really have like a huge opinion on it. That was just interesting. Like, okay, like, some of it, like, okay, it's the same stuff. They're not trying to show too much,
which is good.
Like, right. So it's like, we can't really say too much on it. Not necessarily hyped because this movie's been delayed like
1,000 times,
5 times, 6 times.
Yeah.
This is supposed to come out years ago. Yeah. So we'll see. That's all I have to say on the trailer. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like this trailer better because the first one seemed kind of like funny, quote unquote, and then this one's a lot more darker.
Yeah, they made it more serious.
It's just like, okay, Flashpoint is supposed to be serious and not all funny, hee. So that I have high hopes again, but also James Gunn did say this is the greatest superhero movie ever made. I don't know if that's just because he's the new owner of DC or
he's just trying to hype it up. I mean, maybe
it too. So if that means anything.
I mean, if it's good, it's good. I'm not gonna deny it, man. But I'm just scared, right? Because like Shazam 2, right? Everyone's like, oh, Shazam 2 flopped because of James Gunn, right? Like, yes, everyone knows it's gonna flop because we're in that transition era right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, just drop the movies, right? Just drop them. We'll watch them, and then I'm not expecting high quality here. This is the kind of the old stuff. So it's like, let's get something new going, I guess. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't really want to like put too much opinion on it because then it's like, oh, I don't want to get high hopes. I don't want to. I just like, I'm gonna go in and watch it. I'm gonna go in and watch it,
Ricky,
and
it's gonna be the greatest movie ever.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. It's just. Yeah, I mean, it'll be cool to watch, but I'm hesitant to say the least. But let's talk about Street Fighter 6, right? So Street Fighter 6, right? I mean, full transparency, right? Like, I'm not like the craziest, like, in the community guy.
We're not
like,
super fans.
Yeah, so we're not super fans or anything. Like, we're casual enjoyers of fighting games, right? Like, we'll usually pick them up. So, like, I'm not over here, in tournaments or anything. So I don't really know how it applies to that side, right? But what I'm seeing as the filthy casual I am, I'm kind of liking it. What the stuff they showed off in that showcase, right? I thought like, okay, they're putting some effort in, right? Not a cheap cash grab, because I know the last one, I know people were kind of like, oh, they didn't feel like it went over as well with the audience. There was kind of like, well, they took a long time to do this and that, and the DLC was a problem. Which I admit, this one, it does have the whole day one DLC essentially. You know, you purchase the game and then I don't like it when games are like, oh, you can purchase the DLC with it, and then like, you know, they're like, they already announced, they already announced the characters and everything. So it's like, to me, it's like, okay, like they're already working on this stuff while the game's in development. Like, I usually like it to be just packaged in the game. I don't really have to feel like I have to go buy it, especially like, well, actually, we'll go over that later because we're going to talk about the year one DLC. Sorry, the year one DLC. We'll talk about that later. So I want to kind of talk about the showcase just first, though. But what ended up kind of like happening is just like as I was watching through it, I'm like, okay, this is cool. A lot of content. Usually, I don't go through too much of the single player content in fighting games. Usually, I mean, usually it's just lacking. That's why there's really not an experience. And so it seems like Capcom was like, yo, we're trying to change things up a little bit. We're revitalizing it. It seems like they want this game to kind of be like the game that they're going to have long-term support for. That they're like, this is kind of like the definitive next-gen fighting game, Street Fighter stuff. Like, this is it. This is where we're going to kind of put everything into. And it seems like that. I mean, the art style is really good. I mean, of course, all this stuff, right? Like, the attacks look pretty punchy. Everything looks pretty cool to me, right? From a casual perspective, I don't know how the hardcore fan base feels about everything. I know I'm going to play and I'm probably going to enjoy it, right? So it's not a big deal to me, like if it's like there's certain things missing. But overall, I'm pretty like satisfied with what they have. I probably will try the single player out.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. It looks like it's kind of worth it, right? And then I like how that you can kind of like create your own character and have a pretty like in-depth character creator.
Yes, they do.
You know? And then I was like, oh shoot! I was like, I thought I was gonna choose like you get like 6 faces.
Nope.
You know, and then like I thought it was gonna be like
a Slender Man right now.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, like, oh, this is cool. Like, it seems like they put a lot of spit and polish and everything that they've done in the game. Because it's like, it seems, and for me, like, my favorite part was like how you can play in the battle area, like Street Fighter 2. I was like, oh, you can go to one of the arcade,
really like that.
the battle hub or whatever it's called. And then so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I hope that like you can unlock other games too, right? Like, you can play some of the older ones, like, or they even have just like little like throwbacks to like the early days, right? Like that you can play in there.
Smart.
I think that'd be really cool, right? Like they're just unlockables and stuff like that. I always, yeah, like that's always fun. I always enjoy it. Games like they don't really do that anymore, right? Like, you know, like how they had Animal Crossing and like you used to be able to like unlock the old ones, right? Like I never played that, but I thought it was cool when people did. Like I was like, oh, I didn't know that was kind of cool, right? Like I always like it when you can play like the old ones. So that big check mark.
You didn't get to do the demo, right?
I haven't gone to the demo yet, so I haven't been able to play. And I was gonna say that, and because I'm waiting. I think what is it? The Steam and Xbox one comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like 26th, 28th or
I
something.
believe so, yeah.
Somewhere around there. It's coming out this week for us, right? So, but if you're on PlayStation, it's already been out for like a few days.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's a lot to go over on that aspect that I won't be able to talk about. But just talking about strictly the showcase, I think it looked pretty cool, and I kind of want to try. Like, I actually want to try the demo.
It translates very well, especially because in the showcase they kind of like introduced all the new mechanics and stuff, and then in the demo you can't really do much, but like the tutorial, it allows you to try like the what do they call it? Oh my gosh, the old school method where you have to input commands and then it does like shuriken or whatever.
Oh, it's like that dynamic. It's like that dynamic fighting versus like
dynamic or whatever.
Yeah,
and then so the new one's more like, I guess, the Dragon Ball Fighters stuff, right? Like you just do, actually it's more like this is gonna be weird, Smash, where you press the direction and then you press the special button.
Okay.
So that does make it a little bit easier, and
so it just simplifies the inputs, right?
Yeah, like the one character, it was like right, you press right and then triangle, and it does like his one combo. So
because they did make a big effort to add like accessibility to the game, which is very interesting.
Yes.
So because like that's been like a huge thing, is trying to add accessibility to a lot of these games, right? And what I like is how they're like, you will still have the regular competitive, right? Like. You know, top tier game and stuff. They're not touching that, and that's gonna be like a separate thing. But we're gonna do this for like casual and party game mode and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I like that.
it's kudos.
Like it's just extra stuff to add in, right? Like I tend to kind of like be driven to one direction more, right? Like like some people tend to be like, oh, I like to do the ranked and all that stuff, which is typically what I like to do. Some people just like to do the party casual mode.
Yeah.
And like those two can exist simultaneously, and it seems like that's what they're trying to do here.
Yep.
So I enjoy that.
I'm very excited because a lot of people are saying like this is like the staple now for fighting games, you know, because of all
Yeah,
the stuff.
a lot of people
even
are
the
saying
Battle Hub,
that.
right? Like the Battle Hub, you can buy clothes, you can play old school games, you can like do like stupid arcade things. You can
I like how you can do the clans, right? Like, and then you can have your own T-shirts. I'm like, yes, I love it when games have that, right? Yeah, like you already know there's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna pop off. Yeah. That part at least. I hope it does, right? Like, because it is hard because it's just like a lot of fighting games lately just kind of drop off, right? I mean, we had that Nickelodeon game that died a while ago, but we had the newer Multiverses, right? Yeah, that one, they just took the game out because they're like, oh, okay,
we're gonna work on it some more.
Yeah, and they're gonna relaunch it. Yeah, and I'm like, okay. I mean, that's a ballsy move. But point being is that I just thought it was just like kind of feel like a lot of fighting games. I mean, you still have like, Mortal Kombat, you still have Guilty Gear, right? But it's like Street Fighter, is kind of making that comeback. I honestly, and I really hope that we eventually, somewhere down the line, get a Marvel vs. Capcom game, right? I'm still waiting for that, right?
Someday.
And so it's like, especially because after I've seen like the effort they're putting into this right now, it's like, man, could you imagine a Marvel vs. Capcom game with this level of effort, right? Like that's money right there. And of course, Marvel's not going to want to do it, right? Because their IPs are too big. So they're like, we're going to do it ourselves, and then you end up getting like the Avengers game. Yeah. It's like you're getting like the Avengers game. You're getting like you're getting like that new one that they did a while back where they only but that one was still made by Capcom, but you can only use like kind of like more of the lesser known characters, right? Like there wasn't all the cool popular characters.
We don't talk about that one.
Like it was kind of unfortunate, but anyways, we're excited. It looked pretty cool. That's really all I have to say on that, because it's just like it's 30 minutes, right? To really just like nitpick everything, kind of be a little difficult. But overall, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I want to play the demo. Hopefully, I'll be able to in a day or two, and then we can talk about it on stream. So you guys should go check that out, twitch.tv/pathofpopculture, and we'll probably be talking about that. So yeah, we'll probably be playing Call of Duty, and then we'll be talking about it. And then we got a couple other things though to go over really quick. You want to talk about the Diablo 4 news, Fen? Since you're
because I'm excited for this. So they had a end game showcase, pretty much in 3 words or less. Not really, but they fixed the beta. They fixed all the issues. They're listening to the community. Everyone's hopes are high. And then they're like, oh, surprise, we have a server slam. So come slam our servers, innuendos included, on May 12th to the 14th. So everyone can go in there, destroy the servers, lag it out, complain about it because the servers don't work, even though it's supposed to be like that. And then the game comes out in June. So I'm excited. Everyone's excited. I'm glad they're listening. They somehow changed the whole dungeons layouts, and so I guess betas do work. I am a shill for Blizzard. I'm sorry, but I just want Diablo to succeed. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. May 12th to 14th, play it. You get a cool little backpack ornament thing, and then if you kill the boss at level 20, you get a cool like trophy for your horse, which is like a giant horn of the monster you killed. So
nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited. There you go.
All right, there you go. So Diablo. If you're into it, you're into it, man.
Well, it's like not everyone's into it, and everyone just hates it.
It's not niche, Blizzard. But it is a different
it's like
kind of gamer that goes into
at
that.
At least they're trying, okay? Unlike some games like Call of Duty. Anyways,
what, you don't have a phone? You guys don't have phones?
Talk about that, all right? It doesn't exist.
Oh, man. But, man, what we do need to talk about, though, is Nintendo, right? Because I did kind of allude to it, like, last week, right? When we were, or maybe on the stream, right? Like, we were talking about Nintendo. Because they've been kind of... I don't know, man. They've been on their high horse since the Mario movie came out, and then now they got this cash cow coming in because there's this hacker, right? So is his real name actually Bowser?
I don't know if that's his code name or his real name.
Okay, so Gary Bowser, he's part of a hacking group, right? Team Executor. I'm assuming that's how you say it. But anyway, so he's basically
In prison.
yeah, he went to prison. Granted, he did hack the systems and did a lot of illegal stuff on there. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard about it. So most of them have been arrested, right? Well, I guess if you haven't heard about it too much, they were hacking the Nintendo Switch, allowing people to they were ripping the ROMs, right? They were ripping the games so that you can unlock them and then play them. So Nintendo was losing out a lot of money. And they find them. I think what is it? It's at like 14. It's like almost $20 million. This guy has to pay back now.
Yep.
Right. So he has to pay it back. He's in prison. He has to give 25 or like 30%.
30,
yeah, 30% of his money per paycheck to Nintendo until he pays it off. Right. And so a lot of people are like, okay, that was a little harsh on Nintendo's aspect, but on Nintendo's part. But there is the aspect of that. Well, they want to send the message that, hey, hackers, if you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to be stuck for the rest of your life working at Walmart, giving me like almost half your paycheck. So I get it, a little harsh, I think, in some aspect, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, like I don't know, man. It's like it is harsh. It is harsh, like not like. That is tough. But man, Nintendo came in with the ban hammer on that. And I don't know. I just thought that was interesting that now they kind of have that sorted out. He may be getting out of jail, released potentially on, good behavior. But I don't know, man. I'd be like, maybe just let me stay here for a little longer because, man, you're going to have to be a wage slave for a long time.
That is true. But I mean, they're even taking out the money because he's working in prison at the library. They're even taking money from that, and it's like, okay, that's kind of he's literally making dollars, and you're just like,
stop it, he's already dead. Yeah.
Enjoy your soup. It's like, come on, Nintendo.
They take 30% of his soup for themselves.
Like, here's one noodle.
Shigeru Miyamoto is over there like eating his soup from prison. He's like, yeah, that's what you get, boy. But yeah, no, this one's terrible. But it is kind of funny. It is sad. It's just interesting, like all around. That I mean,
Don't
Nintendo.
Stupid, guys. Come on.
Yeah, Nintendo is just. Yeah, they're gonna Nintendo spin a Nintendo. I don't really know what to tell you about that one, man. But that one is just like rip my guy. That's terrible. But in better news. Sometimes you do, yes. Sometimes you get it. Sometimes you get got. But Call of Duty is getting its own tabletop board game. I have no idea how this is really going to work out. We just know there's a Kickstarter for it. Activision isn't putting any like weight behind it or anything. Mm-hmm. It's just they're doing a fun. They're just kickstarting it, and because Arcade Wonders got the license for it, and they're like, all right, we're gonna kickstart it, and we're gonna make a Call of Duty Warfare, Modern Warfare, board game, and everyone's like, okay, and so I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't turn-based. Game. I really don't know how it's gonna translate. They're just like, yep, they got a little trailer up if you want to look for it. Just Call of Duty, the board game announcement teaser, and that's really what we got. We don't really have much to go off of, but I just thought that was interesting. You fan wanted to bring that up, and I was like, all right, we'll talk about it a little bit. I mean, I don't know.
It's just like why.
They're making anything and everything a board game, I guess. It's a niche. I think it's more like a collector's item kind of thing. It'd probably be. I mean, I hope it's good, right? But I think people are probably going to get it more to be like, oh, look, there's a board game, right? Kind of like Monopoly, right? You get like those different, like they have that like My Hero Academia version. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then stuff's named after the canon of the game and the show, and then like, oh, okay, and then I get it, but I don't know. I don't think I won't pick it up anytime soon, most likely.
Look. It says their plans for these are additional maps, modes, weapons, and pre-painted miniatures, as well as zombies and co-op campaigns. And I don't. The setting will be Modern Warfare timeline. See, it's like, come on, guys. This is the new Call of Duty.
I mean, I think Activision. I think it would be cool if, like, if you got the board game and then you get like a special skin or something in Call of Duty when you play, online or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I don't know. Activision's just like they have the license. They're just gonna do what they do. Like,
They're like, here you go. Make
it'd be kind of cool if they would support it. Like, it's like, hey, we're doing this, and it's like you get some sort of cool unlock, like gun skin or something, or like I don't know, like something would have been cool. Like.
Imagine
I don't know,
board
but
game has a battle pass.
we're gonna give you the authentic Call of Duty experience. Half the game's locked away in DLC and Battle Pass. So, oh my gosh!
Once you done a certain amount of wins or something, I don't know. I'm all for that.
Oh my goodness! All right, well that pretty much wraps it up for today's episode, though. Oh my goodness. Dogging on Activision to go play their stupid game now.
Right.
So, if you enjoyed today's episode, we very much appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, if you're on your preferred podcast listening platform, give us a thumbs up, a heart, a like, 5 stars, however it works on there. We very much appreciate any and all support. And come hang out with us on stream Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we're usually on there 2 o'clock Pacific time. So, I think that wraps everything up. The social medias. Check us out on social media as well at Past Pop Culture all across the board. Twitter, Instagram, right? Like the big boys, TikTok. We usually post clips on there. And I don't know, there's been a few good clips on there, so you guys should check them out. And I think that's it. Yep. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye.